My name's Charlie Robinson. I am the author of The Octopus of Global Control. We're going to talk about education. A quote from H.L. Mencken said, "The most erroneous assumption is to the effect that the aim of public education is to fill the young of the species with knowledge and awaken their intelligence, and so make them fit to discharge the duties of citizenship in an enlightened and independent manner. Nothing could be further from the truth. The aim of public education is not to spread enlightenment at all. It is simply to reduce as many individuals as possible to the same safe level, to breed and train a standardized citizenry, to put down dissent and originality." Well, if you're an American, just think back when you were a kid and you learned about the 3 R's: reading, writing, and arithmetic. Now think about that for a second. I only count one of those words that starts with the letter R, so I guess as a kid we're sort of being programmed to accept 1 out of 3 correct as success. I mean, maybe it is if you're a Major League Baseball player, but if you're in the classroom getting 1 out of 3, you will be working at Del Taco if you're lucky. Education is definitely about control. I mean, don't take my word for it. You can listen to, Woodrow Wilson said back in 1914, "We want one class of person to have a liberal education, and we want another class, a very, very much larger class of necessity, to forego the privilege of a liberal education and fit themselves to perform specific, difficult, manual tasks." You ever wonder why public schools are sort of set up like makeshift factories? You have rows of kids sitting in line. Absolutely, probably the worst setup for a classroom you could ask for. As soon as the bell rings, everybody goes running out of the classroom like Fred Flintstone. This is not accidental. I mean, this is by design. The purpose of school is not to educate kids. I'm sorry. I know that's what it sounds like, but it's really not. And you just have to be objective and look at it. It's really to turn everybody into obedient workers, as George Carlin once said. Think about working at a factory every single day, making widgets every single day. Well, you can't do it anymore here in America because we don't have any more factories. But we've sent them all to China. But do you know about Foxconn, I think it's the largest company in the world, actually, in China? They build all the iPhones and all sorts of technical gadgets. They have installed suicide nets around the edges of their buildings because so many of their employees were literally jumping off the building trying to kill themselves that they had to put nets up. I don't know. Maybe that's an indicator that your corporate philosophy is not working very well when you have to take precautions to make sure that half of your workforce doesn't throw themselves off the roof at lunchtime. But if you're an American, you can rest assured that we have come up with a solution for the crappy education system. Have you heard of Common Core? Oh boy. This is an education philosophy that was financed mostly by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and if you don't know about them, you might want to explore. Shady group of people, believe me. So Bill Gates says it would be great if our education stuff worked, meaning Common Core, but we're not going to know for a decade. Oh, okay, just take your sweet-ass time with that. It's only a decade, and it's only the education of the children. I'm sure Bill Gates was really sympathetic if he had a software developer walk in his office saying, "Yeah, it's going to take me 10 years to finish this program, and it might be okay." I'm sure he was very sympathetic and didn't execute the man on the spot. Common Core is so bizarre that it almost makes you feel like they're playing like a practical joke on us because it is so unbelievable that it can't possibly be true. So here's a quote from a lady named Amanda August. She is a curriculum coordinator, and this is her speaking, not me. "But even under the new Common Core, if they said 3 times 4 was 11, if they were able to explain their reasoning and explain how they came up with their answer, really in words and oral explanations, and they showed it in a picture, but they just got the final number wrong, we're more focusing on the how and the why. We want our students to compute correctly, but the emphasis is really moving towards the explanation and the how and the why. And can I really talk through the procedures? that I went through to get this answer. Not just knowing that it's 12, but why is it 12? How do I know that? How do you know that it's 12? Because you learned that 3 times 4 is fucking 12. I can't understand why you get partial credit for getting the answer wrong. So basically what Common Core is saying is that if your kid's really good at bullshitting, he probably can pass Common Core. And God, I mean, he might have actually become a lawyer at some point. That is, if he can pass the bar exam, which last time I checked, does not give you partial credit for getting the answers wrong. Stop this planet. I want to get off.